Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams and the home of the Red Devils. The glory days of Sir Alex are long gone. Since his departure, a few have tried their luck. David Moyes was first, winning the Community Shield before being sacked just 10 months into a 6-year contract. Louis van Gaal was next, winning the FA Cup in the 2 years he lasted before he was also sacked. Jose Mourinho arguably achieved the most at the club since Fergie. A Europa League, a League Cup and a Community Shield in his 18-month spell as United boss. But he too was sacked. Which brings us to current boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whose time at the club has been indifferent to say the least. It's time to take this club back where they belong, a dominant force in England and top of the Premier League. And the man to do that? Well, that's me. Yes, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Football Manager 2021. Ooh. Now, I've been playing the game over on my Twitch channel and I've really enjoyed it. It's such a good beta version of the game. If the full game is only going to be improved upon from here, then, I mean, it's money well spent in my opinion. One of the main reasons I've enjoyed it so much is because the Twitch save is going really well. So if this one doesn't, there are lots of new features in the game, lots for us to look at, lots for us to get to grips with. I'm not going to be showing you guys every single thing because we'd be here for hours, and I'm sure there's videos out there showing you all the new features that the game has got. But as we play through the save, when these things crop up, I'll be sure to show you them. I'll show you them. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's get stuck into Football Manager 2021 and our beta save, Manchester United. And there it is then. It is official. Manchester United hire Holford as manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment. I mean, it's not a great start. Holford lacks the reputation of a title specialist, which, given the club's current ambitions, creates an intriguing dynamic as they intend to challenge for major honours. Well, that's one of the reasons we're here. That's one of the reasons we're at Man United. They've not been good recently, have they? I mean, a trophy here and there, an FA Cup, a Europa League, a League Cup. But like I said in the intro video, the times of them being a dominant force in England, you know, competing at the top of the Premier League, competing in the Champions League, and making Old Trafford a place where teams are worried to go and play, it's gone. And that's what we need to get back. Ed Woodward has formally welcomed me to Manchester United. I don't know how well me and him are going to get on. I mean, given his past relationships with managers, I mean, probably not well, if you look at it that way. We are expected to finish fourth. That is the media prediction. I'd assume teams like City, Liverpool will finish above us, and then maybe Spurs or Chelsea. But fourth, I think that's a fair prediction. Given the squad they've got at the moment and the upheaval they've faced the past few years, I'd settle for fourth and then build from there. This is the squad we've been recommended then, what the coaching staff thinks we should use. Pretty standard across the board. De Gea in goal. You'd expect Tellers and Wan-Bissaka at fullback. Maguire and Lindelof probably the best two centre-backs they've got, although they're not great. The two central midfielders, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, can't argue with that. Probably going to be two pivotal players as we move forward. Rashford on the left, Van der Beek's there. Cavani, of course, just arrived in the summer. Daniel James, interestingly, on the right-hand side. I mean, they haven't got amazing wingers, have they? You know, Rashford and Martial, probably better off as strikers, but we'll see as we move further into the game. In terms of the club vision, they want us to do everything that you'd expect from Manchester United. Play attacking football, develop players using the youth system, sign players under the age of 22, sign high-rep players, sign English players, play entertaining football as well, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. So I believe there's lots of, well, everything in that club culture I feel like I can achieve. In terms of the 5-year plan then, increase the commercial revenue, maintain the best youth system in both the country and the Premier Division, and continuously work within the wage budget. That should be absolutely fine. As we move down, the aims for the end of the current season, they only want us to qualify for the Europa League, which is a top 6 finish. So it's kind of a free swing this season. Reach the semi-final of the FA Cup. I'm sure that's achievable unless we get some really difficult draws. Champions League, just reached the first knockout round, and the Carabao Cup isn't important. I mean, looking at those three main competitions, a top 6 finish in the Premier League, the FA Cup reached the semi-final, and the Champions League just get to the first knockout round. It's, when you think of Manchester United as a club, it's so below par as to what you'd expect from them. And to me, that just shows you how far they have really fallen in the Premier League, behind the likes of Liverpool, Man City. You'd argue maybe Chelsea and Spurs are better than them at the moment. Arsenal sort of around there. Clubs like Leicester, Wolves, Everton, you know, coming up behind them as well. So yeah, this season is kind of, it feels like a free swing, but I think we can do better than that across the board. Right, let's have a look at the squads and the group of players we're going to be working with this season. Of course, we will. How much money do we get to start this 52 million. We have 52 million pounds as a transfer budget and about 400,000 pounds as a wage budget. So we have room to maneuver in the transfer market. We can definitely get some players in where we need to strengthen. Let's, like I said, let's have a look at the squad, which is what we're currently going to be working with this year. I mean, the first thing that's jumped out to me there is the fact that we've got 5 goalkeepers in the first team squad. Sergio Romero, Lee Grant, Joel Pereira, well, he's out on loan, but the top 2 will not play. I mean, Dean Henderson, David De Gea, who do we go with? That's the interesting thing. Dean Henderson obviously had a very successful season at Sheffield United. Recently signed a new contract, I believe. And very well rounded. 23 years old, English as well. Potential to get better. I mean, I think the only way he does get better is if we play him. However, David De Gea, I mean, he's had a few indifferent seasons at United. His time at the club could be coming to an end, but he is, you know, he's a Spanish international. He's been there. He's done it all. He's on a lot of money as well, 350 grand a week. If we compare him with Dean Henderson, let's have a look at the attributes. I mean, there's a lot that Dean Henderson is better at than David De Gea. Overall, I mean, it's really tough, isn't it? Looking at this, I'm leaning slightly more towards Dean Henderson. I know De Gea's got some better attributes in terms of aerial reach, handling one-on-ones, reflexes, etc. But across the board, Dean Henderson, not a bad keeper at all. And I'm thinking long-term, he's probably going to be here for a while. Looking at our centre-backs then, Phil Jones, Harry Maguire, Axel Tuanzebe, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, and Marcus Rojo. I mean, 6 okay choices. I mean, they're not amazing, are they? They're not the best. You'd think Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof would probably be the 2 that we'd play. I mean, Tuanzebe, I'd rather develop him being English, you know, come through the youth system at United than play someone like Phil Jones, Eric Bailly, Marcus Rojo. I'd be happy to get rid of those 3 and potentially look at getting another world-class, I say another world-class centre-back in, a world-class centre-back. At right-back, we've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, he's superb. He really is superb. Defensively, he's great. Tackling 20. That is impressive. That is very impressive. I think he needs to improve going forward, but that's something we can work on as we move through the save. Back up at right back, I'm assuming Brandon Williams can do a job there. He probably won't be loaned out. He's probably going to be in and around the first team. At left back, we've got Alex Telles, who's surely going to be the first choice. Again, very, very well rounded. Signed this summer for 13.5 million, which when you look at a player of that ability, it's an absolute bargain. Which means if he's the first choice, Luke Shaw, of course he's injured. How long for? 2 to 5 weeks. Sorry, buddy. You're probably going to be the backup. In central midfield then, we've got so many options that can play here. Scott McTominay, Fred, Donny van der Beek, Nemanja Matic, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, the 6 main central midfielders we've got. I mean, you'd think Bruno Fernandes, across the board, very, very good. Had a great start to his Manchester United career as well. He's going to be one of the first names on the team sheet, probably partnered by Paul Pogba as well. That was a great use of alliteration. I mean, again, across the board, very, very good. Physically, he is exceptional. Mentally, really good. Technically, really good. Him and Fernandes, you'd think would be the 2 main midfielders that are going to be playing for us this season. And then after that, who do you go with? Scott McTominay, Fred, Donny van der Beek just signed this summer, Nemanja Matic. Potentially someone like McTominay or Matic to provide a little bit more defensive cover and let Pogba and Fernandes sort of just go and do their thing further up the pitch. Speaking of moving further up the pitch, our attacking options are, they look pretty good on paper, don't they? I mean, they're very versatile, these guys as well. Daniel James, Juan Mata, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial. We've still got Igalo. How long's he here for then? When does his contract expire? His loan contract, is that January? That's the end of January. Okay. So he's here for about 6 more months. Paying him 100 grand a week as well. Odion Igalo. Good stuff. And last but not least, Edinson Cavani, signed in the summer. I mean, on a big wage, 160 grand a week, still worth 13 million at 33 years old. 3.5-star ability in a variety of roles as a striker. He looks really good. He looks like he can do a job for us, especially for this season. After that, not so sure. We'll see how he declines throughout the year. The likes of Mason Greenwood, though, obviously very young, come through the youth at Manchester United. It'll be really interesting to see how he develops over the next few years. A wonder kid. He's very good at playing a striker, or he can play on the right-hand side. So either position as an inside forward, I mean, either footed as well, which is, I mean, that is a massive plus. Good finishing, good determination, good flair, physically really good. At just 18, I mean, he could hit 5-star. He could really hit 5-star. Marcus Rashford as well, £52 million. Marcus Rashford, 3.5-star current ability, potential to be 4.5-star. Probably going to play on this left-hand side, either as an inverted winger or an inside forward. But again, across the board, a very, very well-rounded player. Crossing, not the best, but that's not really what we're going to want Marcus to do. We are going to want him to just put the ball in the net, essentially. That is all we want him to do. The hardest thing in football, and I want him to make it easy. So if Rashford plays on the left, our striker, if it's not Cavani, will likely be Anthony Martial. I mean, looking at his attributes across the board, again, very, very good. Physically, just incredible. Apart from his jumping reach, but we can ignore that. Physically incredible, mentally very, very good, technically really good as well for what we want him to do. I'm really surprised he doesn't score more goals for United than what he currently does. Because looking at this, he's certainly capable of doing so, that's what we're going to want to get out of Anthony Martial. Goals and more goals, essentially. So looking through the squad, we've got a pretty versatile squad, and there are some really, really good players here. I don't think we need to make too many drastic changes, especially in the first transfer window. I'd think maybe centre-back, a world-class centre-back would be important, potentially 2 moving forward, and a right winger as well, as Daniel James is our only option on the right wing at the moment. Don't really want to rely on Daniel James, so I think a right winger is, that is essential. Comment section, let me know, looking through this squad, who would you sell from this team, and what positions do you think we need to strengthen? I've already said centre-back and right wing. There could be somewhere else that I've missed that you guys have picked up on that I haven't. Tactically then, how do we want to play this season? I'm thinking gegenpress. I think, we've got the physical ability in this team to be able to play this game. I think we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. And I think we're going to go 4-2-3-1 as well. That is what I'd like to play with United this season. So if we was to fill out a first choice 11, okay, so this is what I'm thinking our first 11, our strongest 11 would look like. Henderson in goal, a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Alex Telles, a midfield 2 of Pogba and Van der Beek, Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, Bruno Fernandes just in behind Anthony Martial. I mean, especially at home, I think we should be playing that formation. We'll see how the season pans out and how results go. But we can always, just as easy, pull someone back here in the defensive midfield role, pull the advanced playmaker back there, and it will make us a little bit more solid defensively. We can change that for Matic or McTominay as well. Let's have a look then. Who do we kick off our season against? After the friendlies, we kick off our Premier League campaign against Burnley at home. So, no offence, Burnley fans, but a nice fixture to start with, followed by Newcastle away, a Carabao Cup game, and then our first Manchester derby of the save, Man City away in our 3rd Premier League game. Obviously, the Champions League games and the domestic cup games have to feed into here as well, so it will be a very busy season. In terms of the Christmas period, it's Everton at home, Southampton away, and then Villa away. So I'd say 3 winnable games there. With the games coming thick and fast around Christmas. And to end the season, I'll run in the final 5 games in May. Liverpool at home, City at home and Arsenal away. So 3 really tough games out of our final 5 there. I mean, who knows what we'll be playing for at the end of the season. They could be really important, or I'm hoping they're really important, as opposed to what I'm about to say, absolutely meaningless. Right, we know we've got 52 million to spend, so let's have a quick look. What do we say? Centre-back was somewhere we wanted to sign someone. Let's have a little look at the types of players that are interested. Jose Jimenez, the most expensive player interested in joining us. Looking down the list, Milan Skriniar, Stefan De Vrij, Soyuncu, we could take him from Leicester. I mean, maybe United signed the wrong centre-back from Leicester. Who knows? Soyuncu, very, very good though, and experienced in the Premier League. Looking down the list, there's some good centre-backs here that I'm sure would come in and improve the defence. Kostas Manolas, as well as another one from Napoli. Jules Koundé, Merih Demiral. There's lots of good players here that would come in and improve us. I do feel, however, some of the names I said at the top of the list, the likes of, Jose Jimenez, Nicolas Soule, Stefan De Vrij, Milan Skriniar, Soyuncu, they would be the players we're sort of looking at to come in and make a real difference to our back line. Where else did we say? Right wing, we needed to improve our right wing. Of course, the elephant in the room, Jadon Sancho, couldn't get the deal done for him during the summer. Who knows? Maybe we could get him in this save and see what he would have done at Old Trafford, see what he would have done at United. There's lots of good names here, though. If we can't get Jadon Sancho, who is interested, right here, we'll have a little look at him. I mean, yeah, United probably should have made more of an effort to sign him. A wonder kid, can play, just as well on the left-hand side as he can on the right-hand side. Very, very versatile, very, very good. Only 20, English as well. Maybe Sancho is someone that we look to pursue in this first transfer window. If not this transfer window, maybe moving forward if we don't get another right winger in. I mean, looking down the list, there's lots of quality options. Serge Gnabry, Ousmane Dembele, Iñaki Williams, Adama Traore, potentially from Wolves, Kingsley Coman. I mean, he gets around a lot of different clubs. He hasn't been to England yet. We could bring the Frenchman to Manchester. Alan Saint-Maximin, potentially take him from Newcastle. Thorgan Hazard. you know, there's lots of players here that would fit that right-hand side perfectly. Leon Bailey, who else? Florian Toyavin, Ansu Fati, potentially Marcel Sabitzer. So there are plenty of options on the right-hand side, which we want to improve there. I mean, who we sign, I have no idea at the moment. I mean, like I said earlier, let me know in the comments, the centre-backs we've just been through, the right-wingers we've been through, who stands out? Who would you bring to Manchester United? Bearing in mind, we've only got 52 million. We could potentially sell some players and generate some more funds. But again, I don't really want to make too many changes to the squad at the moment. One nice feature that's been added to the game as well, it gives you next season's minimum budget. 66 million we'd be getting next season. It says it here on the finances page as well. The minimum guaranteed budget will be 66 million. And it gives you the wage budget for next year as well, next season. So two very nice, subtle additions there. And it's going to make planning future transfers much, much better, I think. Is there anybody in the under-23s that would be good enough to play for the first team? We'll have a look at their squad. We'll sort it by ability. Diogo Dalot out on loan. Facundo Pellistri signed in the summer. I mean, another right winger he's okay, but probably not going to play for a couple of seasons. We'll probably look to loan him out, get him some first-team experience. Tahith Chong as well, already loaned out, getting first-team experience. Fosu Mensah and Mengi are the other two you'd probably look at and think they could potentially play a role in the first team. Okay, we're going to advance forward to the introductory press conference just because it's one of the main features that has changed on Football Manager this year. The layout is different and there's gestures as well. So give us a sec and you can see all of that. Okay, we're not at the press conference yet, but let's introduce ourselves to the squad. Again, this has changed. As you can see, we're in what looks like a classroom, but this is where we're going to introduce ourselves. Igalo's looking negative already. I don't understand why. I mean, I've just walked into the room. He must dislike me that much. He's got bad feelings already. Anyway, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce myself to you as the new Man United manager. I mean, who's piped up here? Harry Maguire, welcome. I hope as a team we can go on to achieve great things under your management. Well, we're on the same page. And, I mean, what's Igalo like now? Agreeable. So he's turned his mood around quite quickly. Of course, now, as you can see, all the options of replies and answers to say are down the bottom in categories as well. So you can talk about the squad, youth and transfers, staff and coaching, or just give a neutral answer, which I think that's what I'm going to go for. I don't want to make any promises for now, but I do want to talk about our expectations for the season. I don't know what I'd promised them. Okay, that hasn't gone brilliantly. A few of these downcast. What does that mean? Again, it's a negative reaction. Pogba's piped up. He's not sure where we all stand. He expected clear promises to be made. I mean, okay, we'll address that in the future. Aims for this season then. I'm going to say I'm positive about our chances. I think we can qualify for the Champions Cup. That has gone much better. That is what I like to see from a squad of players that, you know, are this good. We should be qualifying for the Champions League fairly easily. Maguire's agreed. He's on board. And these are the gestures. Here you go. So you can have no gesture. You can point the finger assertively. You can wave the hand in an open, convincing manner. I mean, yeah. Raise hands with palms facing out to pacify. I mean, that's a bit of that, I think. A bit of, you calm down, relax. Pump the fists. I mean, that's intended to encourage. That would encourage me. You know, like, come on. That would work. Outstretched arms directly in front of your body, palms open in praise. So that's obviously just like that. That's a positive thing. What do we go for? I think we're going to go with outstretched arms. That's exactly the sort of reaction that I was after. That's gone well. What can we say now in terms of the Champions League? The latter stages reach the Champions Cup competition proper this season. Reach the latter stages of the Champions Cup next season. I'm going to again pump fists. Let's encourage the boys. Reach the latter stages of the Champions Cup, the Champions League this season. Everyone seems satisfied apart from Harry Maguire, who's pleased. He thinks that's sensible. I mean, he is the club captain, so I'm assuming he speaks for everyone here. What do we say? We'll pump the fists again. That's exactly the sort of reaction that I was after. The FA Cup now? Goodness me. The latter stages? Should we say that? We'll go with the latter stages. I don't think that's high on the list of priorities above the Premier League or the Champions League. Again, Harry Maguire, speaking for everyone, thinks that's sensible. So, you know what? Harry Maguire gets some slack, but he's impressing me here. Me and Harry, Good friends. I finalised the code of conduct. Hope you're all on board. They look very happy with that. Again, Maguire, can these guys talk or just participate in this meeting at all? I mean, we're all here. Pipe up. Now's the time. Maguire, speaking for everyone yet again. The new code of conduct seems to be along the lines of what we were expecting. I'm happy you aren't introducing anything that's overzealous. I mean, he's educated well. That's a big word. Obviously, that calls for a positive reaction. We'll go outstretched arms yet again. That's a great response. Thank you. All right, that's that then. We've met the team. They're all very happy. Apart from, I mean, who are these people that are just satisfied? A few pleased people. I mean, what more do you want from a team meeting? Maguire, of course, he's very happy. He's been the most vocal in the room. When you do advance from a team meeting or a press conference as well, you'll click the summary button up here in the top right, and it gives you exactly that. It gives you a summary of how the meeting or the press conference has gone. So you get a little message from your assistant here, Mike Phelan, some notable highlights, whether they're good or bad, and a little sort of a team report with the players' reactions as to how their morale is and how they're feeling towards what you previously just did, whether that's a press conference or a team meeting. This one has gone very well, so I'm quite happy. Okay, now we're ready to meet the media at Old Trafford, and press conferences have changed this season, this year on Football Manager, and I've done a few. I really, really do like them. I hope you do too. 13 journalists here for this press conference, so we'll attend this, and boom, there you go. We are in a press conference room. I think the only thing that could make this potentially better is if you had figures of yourself, your press officer, maybe some journalists sitting here. But this is a big improvement to the press conferences from the previous Football Manager. We've got our press officer sitting down here with us as well, so he's loving life, being in the limelight. How does it feel to be the new Man United manager? Again, there are gestures you can do in a press conference. You can outstretch your arms, which, directly, palms open in praise. We've seen that one. Smile warmly, which, a warm, genuine smile, endearing oneself to the room. So I smile a lot, so that could well be one we use quite often. Open arms, spread open arms wide in a disarming manner. I mean, Well, smile warmly. Well, smile. It's a real honour to be entrusted with this role. I'm excited about the future. There's some more gestures here. If you get a question that potentially could be, taken as negative, for example, this guy's popped up. Many people think that Man United's wage budget is simply too small for you to bring in the high-quality players needed to improve the team. Are you going to approach your chairman, Ed Woodward, and ask him to increase the wage budget? Now, we can wag the finger as if to belittle. We can bang the table in an aggressive outburst intended to shock. I mean, I don't want to do it because everything's going to fly up. We can point the finger again, assertively. We can shake our head as if to dismiss that last statement. And of course, the open arms, which we know about. I think, what do we say here? We can go with no gesture. I don't want to cause any problems on the first day of the job. I'm also going to say I don't want to discuss club finances, not this early. Why Man United? What was the allure of coming here? We're gonna smile warmly again. They're a massive club. I couldn't be happier to be here. Did you have any reservations about taking the job? Again, smile warmly. None whatsoever. I came here fully prepared and ready for the challenges ahead. There's going to be a lot of questions here. I'll skip ahead to the end of the press conference, but you've seen how the press conferences work. So again, I'll see you guys in the summary of the press conference. Danny Dawson, the press officer, think the press conference was just fine. So that's gone well. And we've got a good relationship with one of the journalists as well. There is an option. I didn't introduce you guys to it in the press conference, but you can leave the press conference this time without storming out. You only had one way of leaving a press conference in the previous FM, which was to storm out. But at least in this one, you can leave like a normal human being. Right, then we are going to leave this episode there. Next episode, we're going to look at the transfers, the players in and the players out of the club. Like I said earlier, let me know in the comments which positions you think we should strengthen, and put some names down as well. Let me know specific players you want to see me bring to Manchester United. We will, of course, start our season in the next episode as well with our first game at home against Burnley. If you've enjoyed the video and if you're looking forward to the series with Manchester United, please do drop a like on the video, and please do subscribe to the channel for all of my Football Manager 2021 content that is going to be coming in the next year. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope you are too. I shall see you in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.